I felt like singing that. All of me, when I take all of me. You know, I want to say a few words. For one thing, all you kids sounded great tonight. I think everyone should be very proud. And that speaks to the Mickey Stisher and all the guys, because it doesn't happen without guidance. And we talked a lot about music today in a lot of various ways, but you know, one thing that when I leave to go to work, I tell my wife I gotta go play. And that's a beautiful thing about music. It's something that's totally involved in expressing the most beautiful parts of our human nature. And you know, the more excellent you get, the more knowledge you get about music, the more you realize that you just scratched the surface and there's an infinite resource in front of you to try to learn in a lifetime. Just isn't enough to do it. So one thing that we talked about today was the importance of practicing and the significance of the fact that when you practice and when you focus and really work hard on yourself and sort of polish your little jewel, that you can really see results and you get better and the band gets better and it gets to be more fun. And the more fun it is, the more you want to practice more and get better to make it more fun. It's a beautiful cycle. But of course, very few of the people here in this student band are going to end up as musicians, and fewer than that who are going to end up as musicians who just play for a living. But all of us can learn something from the fact that when you practice and you really exert yourself, you can get better at something, no matter what it is that you choose to do with your life, you know. And so music in that regard is a significant resource and spur to creativity and to growth as a person. So this guy walks up to a pet shop and he sees this beautiful parrot in the window and he says, excuse me, how much is this parrot? And the guy says, it's $1,500. And he says, $1,500? That's a lot of money. He says, well, it's no normal parrot. It sings the great trumpet concerti, and it sings the cadenzas too, you know. He says, okay. So he walks a little further back in the shop, and there's a bird. It's a little older and a little funkier. It's not as nice as the first bird. The plumage is not as brilliant. He says, well, what about this one? He says, that one's $5,000. He says, $5,000? He says, well, he sings all the great violin concerti with the preferred cadenzas. So he walks a little further back in the shop and there's an old gray parrot. And he says, well, what about this one? How much is this one? He says, he's $10,000. He says, $10,000? What's so special about him? He says, we don't know yet, but the other two parrots call him Maestro.
There are clean shows.
for leadership